Exciting things happening to the E46 today. We're getting rid of the pedestrian handling it currently has so it can handle more like this. A 2016 Mclaren 650S. Today, we're lowering the E46. Welcome to Gar Car Garage. Okay, so before we start, we're going to measure the distance from the floor to the top of the fender well to see where our height's sitting approximately right now. So to the center of the wheel to the bottom, we're sitting at about 26 3/4 inches in the front and 26 inches in the rear. Okay, so to get this front strut out, it is relatively simple. We got to remove the stay link, which should be easy considering these are new when we installed the front sway bar, the 3 strut bolts at the top, and the 1 pinch bolt at the bottom. I'm hoping nothing goes wrong, but these pinch bolts do have a tendency of breaking. Let's get these bolts out, and hopefully after the next B-roll, I've got the strut in my hand and I'm not crying in a ball on the ground. Let's go. All right, that's it. This is a very long strut. Yes. I don't think this is going to go very good. The strut is so long, it can't come out. There's no room for it. So to remove the strut, we have to move the front spindle forward, and to move the front spindle forward, we have to take the nut off the ball joint. And since the ball joint is seized in the spindle, we then have to get an air hammer and smash the heck out of the bottom of it to get it to release. So, nut off, air hammer. You piece of junk.
And like a lingering fart, I'm gone in the wind.
All right, struts are out. Finally, gonna get them on the spring compressor, get the bearing mounts removed, pull the insulators off. That's these rubber things underneath the springs because we'll need to transfer those over to the new units, and then get these back in the car. So, let's get it in the compressor. Garbage. There we have it. There's our stock front coil spring, stock strut. This is the left-hand strut, I believe. This is a factory BMW unit still, so this is the original strut. Strut perch, and again, we will need the rubber insulator off the top. This, I do have a new one. All right, let's get the new ones hooked up. Two hours in, one done. Okay, so we've got our strut reassembled. We're gonna get it back in the car, get it bolted up, get the ball joint bolted back up, and then we will move on to the rear. So let's get this thing back in. Currently, we are testing the tensile strength of the brake line, which I can tell you has passed.
All those people, oh, you shouldn't hang a caliper from your brake line.
No, you should not.
We just hung a caliper, a brake rotor, and a full
The whole hub was hub. I live dangerous like that. Good. That was about torque spec, about 5 ooga-doogas. And onto the rears. Let's get these wheels off, let's get the shocks unbolted, and we'll worry about the springs because they will be the worst part of this job.
That was good.
Well, that came down quite quickly. I'm gonna say I wasn't expecting that to happen, but in retrospect, I should have expected it to happen. The good news is the spring is down far lower, so it should be easier to pry. Now, the danger of prying the spring out is if it takes off, there's a $225,000 Mclaren sitting behind it. So let's try and get the spring out without damaging anyone. I'd rather take a spring to the face and lose 6 teeth than put a chip in the paint of that. So I'm gonna get my biggest pry bar and we're gonna go from there. We're just gonna get the bar in here and just pull.
Way easier than expected.
That went way better than expected. I did not eat the spring in the face, nor did I damage the Mclaren. Hashtag winning for all you millennials. No, millennials are me. What do you call your generation?
Gen Z.
All you Gen Zs out there. Hashtag winning. Okay, so to change the shocks, the upper mount bolts are mounted inside the trunk here. But to get to them, we have to remove the interior, carpeted, the luxury thing. I don't know. Anyways, it's gonna go. And since there's no holes for it and we want to put a strut bar back here, it's also not gonna go back in. So let's get ripping and tearing. So we've got our shocks exposed. We're going to drop them down because they're still just hanging on the bottom. We'll get the new Konis out, we'll get the new mounts on them, and then we'll position them in place with the new strut bar, bolt them up on the top, and then bolt them in on the bottom. Plenty of leaf juice everywhere. Okay, so we've got the suspension supported to raise it back up. We've got the shock installed from the top. There are ghosts in the shop that have just yeeted that box over there.
Good thing it fell in the McLaren.
Good thing it did not fall in the McLaren. Koni has provided a washer, which they want installed before the nut goes in. Don't know why, but we're gonna get that installed. All right, that shock is installed. So we're all done on the bottom. The wheels are buttoned up. Still have to torque them when it hits the ground. But now we're gonna get it on the ground, at least partially. Then we can line up our top strut and shock mount bolts, get those strut bars on, tighten everything up, and then we'll see where our ride height's sitting at. I am really excited to see how this thing sits once the suspension is finally bolted into place. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna get really good. I promise. Okay, lowering springs are installed, camber plates are installed, rev ship mounts, Koni's installed all the way around. So we've just gotten it off the lift. We're now gonna measure to see where our exact height lower it is as of now. We're gonna bring it back in a couple days and see where it is after that as well, just to see if there is any settling. Usually you'll get a little bit more of a drop afterwards. So let's see where we are right now. 25 3/4. So about an inch drop in the front. 24 3/4. So about an inch and a quarter in the rear. So overall, a decent drop. Not crazy, but I wasn't looking for crazy. You'll notice that I've got some crazy camber going on in the front right now. That'll need to be adjusted. We're gonna get a couple more suspension components changed before we get it out for alignment. But for now, we're gonna roll with some camber, see how it handles. So we'll catch you back in about 6 days, and we'll see exactly how the suspension has settled then, and we'll see if our ride heights have gone down or stayed the same afterwards. Okay, we'll see you back in a couple days.
Okay guys, we're back. I wasn't here for Dave's misery in replacing these lowering parts, but we give Dave a week to cool down, and now he's willing to talk about the changes that have been made on the BMW.
Well, first of all, we're going to measure the height again to see if the springs have settled at all in the week or so that I've been on and off driving the car. So let's have a look. And we're going to go from the floor through the center of the cap. And we are sitting at about 25.5, which is pretty much where we were after they were installed. So no settling, which is kind of to be expected, kind of not to be expected. It's nice that the product doesn't settle at all. It means that they were very well built out of the box, but I'm still happy with it either way. So we'll go to the back. Back, we're sitting just under 25 inches. So that seems to have dropped a little bit.
So the drift setup is on point. Back a little lower than the front. Drift missing.
It's not a drift.
Yeah. Just wait till he installs the hydro handbrake.
There is no hydro handbrake.
And the big wang and the big camber.
So the camber currently is ridiculous on this car, but that will change with an alignment. I have a couple alignment adjusting arms that need to go in the back before we do send it out to alignment. But other than that, how it handles. The steering is much more crisp than it was before. It's more responsive. The only thing I could say is there is some snap understeer. If you're really going into a corner hard, the back end will come out a little bit. But I'm going to chalk that up to A, the car having no alignment whatsoever, and B, these rock hard 12-year-old Continental run flats that it's running on. So they're not the best tires for handling, and because of how old they are and the temperature dropping, it's like driving on hockey pucks. So I haven't really pushed it too far, as I don't want to put it into the wall just yet.
So wait, you said snap understeer, and then you said the back end comes out on.
No, sorry, I haven't slept in a while.
Okay, it is understeer then.
Yeah, it's
okay,
understeer, yeah.
I was a little confused for a minute. That makes sense then. Just goes straight when you want it to turn. The worst of the options. He'll get it fixed so it does the drifty boys. Drift car.
No drift car. This is not a drift car. So, other than that, everything is nice. We're going to get the rest of the parts installed on it. Probably this year.
Hopeful.
We are running out of time for the cars to have any more mods in this year, but we do have loads of off-season content for you. So just because the snow is coming doesn't mean the videos are going to stop. So stick around. There's a lot of fun stuff going. This car is nowhere close to being done. We are hoping to get a couple more Beamer videos in before the snow flies. We've got some Fiat content and maybe some Honda content.
Depends if we can find the parts that we lost, or they got stolen, or someone's hiding them on us. We've yet to figure that out. So there's a mystery before we find the parts for the Honda.
So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching this frustrating journey of getting this thing together. But if you enjoy watching me get upset and swear at things, there's plenty more of that to come with more videos. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Kyle?
Nasty Nate, hit the B-roll.
strut tower bar on, we want to compensate for the weight. So there's the weight. Here's the compensation.